And we saw the law and order that prevailed in the center of town in Midtown London yesterday. What does this point at? Do you think this is a lapse, or do you think they're just casual about protecting even, the Geneva Convention, which forces every country to provide security to foreign embassies and the high commissions that are established there?
Navika, it wasn't just London. It was San Francisco, and it was also in Canada, where some of these terrorists were carrying out a demonstration, and they prevented the Indian High Commissioner in Canada to go to a function to which he was invited. So it was not limited to any one place, number one. Number two, I don't think this was a lapse, at least not in London. I think the British have traditionally been extremely duplicitous with India. They have always played these double games. And this is part of that duplicity which we have often witnessed at the hands of the British, suffered rather, I should say. For the British to pretend that they were not aware. Navika, this was not the first attack on an Indian mission in the UK. This was, I think, the third or the fourth attack. Earlier, it was by Pakistani terrorists, and this time it's by with these Khalistani thugs. So this was not the first time. There have been constant threats put against the Indian mission, and the British have deliberately ignored it. So I charge them with complicity and connivance in what has happened yesterday. For them to pretend like their High Commissioner is pretending out here, or some of their ministers are pretending that this is appalling, that this is disgraceful, unacceptable, this is just simple verbiage. They are not serious in cracking down. These are the same people, Navika. When there were London riots, they hunted each and every one of the rioter and they punished them. Now they say they don't know what to do about these guys. Since yesterday, they've been able to arrest just one person. There were just about 15 or 20 of these thugs. They have not been able to identify the others. How is it conscionable for a country which calls itself, quote unquote, civilized? And we know what their civilization is. As Mahatma Gandhi said, Western civilization, when he paused and he said it would be a great idea. So we've seen the kind of mass murders these guys have committed, also ironically, in the name of human rights. In the name of protecting the rights of people, they've killed hundreds of thousands of people, whether in Iraq or other countries. And these people are going to teach us the values of civil liberties. Shame on these fellows. But this happened despite the fact that they have been warned, they have been told that there are serious threats, they have slept on it. They have slept on it. I don't know what the reason is, but they have always played these double games. They have always given sanctuary and support to these terror groups. There are terrorists from the 1980s who have been given sanctuary in the UK. There have been Kashmiri terrorists who have been given sanctuary in the UK, all under this rubric of civil liberties. But civil liberties, as we saw in Canada, ends the moment, the elite in these countries or their system starts suffering. So the moment the truckers protest and it causes a certain bit of inconvenience, the same civil liberty lobby cracks down very hard of them. They impound their bank accounts. They impose a state of emergency.
Absolutely.
God forbid we were to do something like this, and these guys would say democracy is dead. These rags like New York Times and Guardian would publish all kinds of articles and editorials by the deracinated Indians, who are out there, who live on their money and who work as brown coolies for these white men, carrying the burden of civilization on their head. They would have published all those articles to defame India, to carry out this entire campaign against India.